Alright, so today I am going to be installing the Hansshow mini smart LCD dashboard screen for the Tesla Model Y, which is a little screen that goes up on top of the steering wheel and basically gives you a secondary instrument gauge where you would normally find one in a car, but in the Tesla there is none. So it's going to go basically right here. And to be honest, I've been a little bit nervous about doing this install because it requires removing a couple of panels and doing some wiring. So I have been putting it off a little bit, but I've read the instructions a few times and read a couple of videos, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So I'm gonna give it a shot and hopefully show you that you don't need to be afraid of it, and it is a very doable install. So I think this is gonna be pretty cool because you know, I think one of the things that a lot of people that are coming from a more traditional internal combustion engine car to a Tesla might be missing is that instrument panel right above the wheel that you can look out without having to look over to the side when you're driving. And this gives us that. So it's going to show us our battery percent, how many miles of range we have left, if we're in drive, park, reverse, neutral. It's also going to show the turn signal indicators, battery warning, and which doors are open, and temperature, and I think a couple of other things too, all in a pretty small screen, which is small enough to not be obtrusive and block your view out the windshield, but give you a bunch more information at a glance. So I'm excited to give that a shot, and stick with me, we'll do all of that together. Alright, so before I get started, I'm going to do two things. I am going to first move the steering wheel all the way out, or all the way down first, and then all the way out. So taking care of that first, then just make sure we're all the way. Yep, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to access this panel here. And then I am also in service, I think it is, gonna do software. And I forget. Safety. Yeah, safety and power off. To turn everything off so that I am not at risk of electrocuting myself when I start doing the wiring. Alright, so let's get started there. So in the box we've got the instructions that I'm going to follow. Here's our bundle of wires that we're going to use, and basically the where they're going to get connected is in this side panel of the passenger side door over here. And so what they recommend doing is actually wiring it kind of off the back here and down, and then you know, I just noticed that this is not connected all the way. That's not awesome. All right, well that might make our install a little bit easier. Wow, never really looked too closely at that before, but that's not all the way connected. So maybe we'll end up fixing that as we take this off. Yeah, so the instructions actually recommend kind of going down through here and then like through this part here, which actually, oh yeah, I can feel it's pretty easy to get into. So that's one option. You kind of go like down through there and over. The other one I saw, actually, I like a little bit better. It goes through here, so you don't see the wire at all, and over, around, and down into there. So I think I'm going to try that. And we're going to start by taking off, actually, the panels that I had already done for my little heads-up display thing here. You can see I have the wire kind of tucked out through there. But it's going to be this panel here, and the same one on the other side, and that's going to give me access to pulling off this entire bar on the top here. And that's actually how you can replace that if you like the look of something a little bit different than a wood one. So I haven't gotten to that yet, but we'll see how easy that comes off. Then we're going to go down and work our way kind of down the side here to take those panels off. So luckily I've got this little plastic pry bar tool that I can use, and we're going to get started. And if you don't have one of these, you can easily find them on Amazon or any other number of sites. Alright, so since I already have this wire out, it might actually be a little bit easier, but yeah, there's already a little bit loose on there, so I'm just going to work my way around I find it's easier to start from the top on this one because of the way that this panel kind of attaches. Oh, look at all this food here. All right, well, opportunity to clean the cart here. So do that and then pop this down. There we go. And same thing on the bottom. All right, so nice and easy. And we'll just put that over here for now. Now we are gonna go do the same thing on the other side. All right, that one was pretty easy. And now I'm gonna do this piece next, which I've been told basically just lifts. Let's see. There we go. That's almost all the way off now. And then well, it looks like this whole thing comes out. All right, let's get the other side loose. Yeah, I don't like the cart, like, this is the second time this has happened to me now, where it decided to, turn back on me. So, back off. Alright, so now I'm gonna get the wiring here kind of set up. Or no, actually, first I'm gonna take these ones off. So, there's these two panels here. There's a little one here. And so I think in order to like fully get this off, we might need to take the side weather stripping off a little bit. But we will check that first. Okay. Oh, okay, so we gotta be careful here. There's like, okay, so that one, there's a little clip that goes on the top, and then once you kind of get that out, then it lifts up and out. All right, so learn from my mistake there. Hold on to that while you're doing it and try not to let anything fall through. All right, so now I'm gonna try to get this big one out. Let's see if you can see. So there's one of these round kind of clips here that holds that in. If that's actually what I heard that fell off. Looks like one might go up here. So the trick with these is, if you look at the top, yeah, the top here, there's actually a little indentation where I can get in there. And I'm gonna kind of pull that out. I mean, pull from there. And the little center circular part is actually gonna pop out a little bit. And yeah, then the whole thing will release a little bit. But I wanna make sure I get in there and grab it so that we don't lose it. Okay, so it looks like this. You can see this part, when that pushes in, that forces this out, which holds the clip actually in. So we're gonna put that here so we don't lose it. Now, so that loosened this wire up. It's still kind of, yeah, it's caught a little bit on the, there we go. All right, so then there's this other clip down here. Okay, cool, so now I'm in here and I can see the wires that I'm gonna be patching into. All right, so they're actually saying we need to remove the entire side cover to get down into it. So I can kind of see the wires here, but I think, can't tell if it's these ones down here or I think it's actually further down. So we're gonna try to get this whole thing off if we can. Ooh, just needs a little. Sorry, I just don't like the sound that these plastic clips make because it sounds like plastic breaking, but it's really not. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we have access here to these, and so this is the side that's going to go into the display. These are basically, here is for AMD. So there is a 10-pin plug, both male and female, and then this one, which looks like you're not really meant to use. I guess it's just covered. Then like a little 2-pinner one. Alright, and then this blue one, which is the data bus. That's like it's a lot of pins, but a bunch of them. And then here for Intel, we have one that has a kind of flatter version. 1, 2, 3, 6, 12 pins, both male and female. And then kind of similar one with this 2-pin one with the cover. So my understanding is that since this is a 2022, this should be the AMD Ryzen. Oh, so actually I just noticed. All right, this is gonna make it a little bit easier. There's another clip right here. I'm gonna take that off so that I can move this fabric out of the way and get a little bit easier access there. Okay, so now that I'm in here more, all right, so, oh, all right, found it. So I just looked again at the instructions and it looked like it was a little bit further back. So now I found we actually do have the little blue jumper back here. Just hard to see, it was underneath this wire. So I just had to get a little bit deeper in here. So that means we're gonna use this guy. So just make sure. Blue one in there. So there's only one way that this will clip in, so you don't have to worry too much about that. So let's get that there. Okay, so we got that one in now. And next and last is just going to be this one here. So just going to push the clip here and it should come right on. Yep, a little clip there that you just push on. And now you want to make sure that you do pay attention to these labels. So look here, this one says Intel, and I appreciate them being so clear about that. And then this one says AMD, and you can see that's an exact 1-for-1 match there. So basically we're just going to be plugging this one in there, and then the other wire, this wire into here, just kind of as an extender. We don't need this part, and we don't need the Intel ones, and that's it. Then we're going to run this wire back up through there, connect it to the display. I'm not going to tighten everything up first. I'm going to make sure it actually powers on and works before I do all of that. But let's get those wires clipped in and give it a try. And these will only go in the right way, so you don't really have to worry about having it wrong or anything like that. So it goes in, make sure you hear it click. Same thing for this one. All right, and now, so we don't need these Intel ones, so I'm gonna kind of see how far up we really need to go with these just to have enough room. But hopefully we can kind of get those in there, in the footwell still. And this will reach over to our steering wheel. And now we're gonna go over there, attach this, and I'm gonna power on the car and see if we have success before I start plugging all of this stuff in. All right, so this is basically gonna go here and replace this cover that's here, but we're gonna wait to do that. So first I am gonna plug, so we have just this one plug that needs to go in. The other one says is in a, what do you call it, upgrade cable. So again, this one will only go on the right way. I'm gonna get it in to make sure it clips. And let's see, we're gonna power the car on. Ooh, we got a little display on here. See it? Yeah, and now we have our display. So showing both doors are open in the front, which is right. Showing our high beams. It is showing that I don't have my seatbelt on, correct? It's showing our speed and 55% state of charge. Range is 280 kilometers. Our cruise control distance, which if I change from 2 to 3 to 4. And temperature, and that we're in park. So let's just see, drive, good, park, all right. Oh, it even shows that we're on auto hold. Turn signal seems to work, yeah. All right, everything's working great, yeah. That's awesome. So then the other thing about this is you can actually control some of this through the steering wheel. So I believe it's if I hold right on the right button, yeah, I go into this settings mode, and I can navigate that by scrolling the wheel. then pushing on it. So I'm going to change it to Fahrenheit. My time zone is GMT -5, right? Yeah, I think so. Theme auto, dark, bright. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on auto, and it's going to go the same as the car. Tire pressure and PSI. Oh yeah, that'll show your tire pressure as well. I'm going to change my mileage to miles, language English, and UI. You actually have 2 different UI options, so I can show you what that looks like. And then if you go past that, it'll go up to this little return arrow, and I can do that. So here's what the other UI looks like. It shows you the car in the middle, it just kind of moves the other stuff around. Yeah, that's fine, but I'll probably go back to this one. And we'll go back to UI 1 and navigate out of here. Yeah, so I'm all set there now, and it's showing the right time, so I think I got the GMT thing right. Yeah, so 174 miles, 0 miles per hour, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect. We are all set with all of that. All right, so that is good. I'm gonna power the car back off so that I don't electrocute myself. So I think what you actually need to do first is take this part here off with these 2 clips. Let's see. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, get my foot away from the brake so that I don't accidentally turn the car on. All right, and I'm gonna take these 2 out. Listen carefully. All right, so, whew, all right, so that was fun. All right, now tricky part. So I don't want to just yank on this. So I think it's kind of attached in through there. So now what I'm gonna do is, using my little pry bar here again. There it is. Okay, so you got it. Yeah, if you go kind of up by the turn signal indicator, then there is a clip right between the stock, like where the stock connects in, and the steering wheel. And so if you can get yourself in there, that clip will pop up, and then I can get into this back part a little bit better. And then it looks like there's probably another one back here. Yeah, there it is. So there's another one toward the back there. All right, so that got me one side up. Now, I suspect if I work my way kind of across the... No, why would you turn on? All right, so it's coming out now. The trick is basically, you need to use a little bit more force than might feel like is necessary, or that I can handle. And, you know, it's gonna hold up. There we go. So, all right, so now that gives us this thing. And basically, so we've got a couple, you can see here holding this kind of fabric part on. I've just got like these couple of clips on here. And so I'm just gonna kind of do them one by one and try to push them through. Cover off, I'm not gonna need that. And what I'm gonna do is attach this part back onto here. So it's probably easier to do underneath. All right. So I'm just gonna work those in one by one, and then these side parts kind of go up and over. Okay, and now we're in. All right, so next we want this to kind of feed through here. All right, sorry, my GoPro's not happy with me because it's 70 degrees in November. It keeps getting too hot. But all right, so basically I just stuck the fabric part under here, and I want to make sure that my cable is coming up through here so that there is room, so that it's out, and so that once I have it plugged in, that we can slide back and forth here with the steering column and not get caught on there. So now, basically I'm going to reattach this by going, alright, so I'm going to reattach this now by going from one side to the other, getting these clips in, and hopefully the whole thing is just gonna kind of click in together. So what I'm finding is kind of just like taking it apart, you gotta use a little more force to put it together than you might think. There we go. All right, wires out, get these clippies in, and then we should be in business. So the easiest way to do these clips is, again, you want to make sure that the little inner part is all the way out, and you can even kind of take it out, and then you're sticking the other part through, and then this clip in. Now we got our wire here, and what I'm gonna do is actually, I want to make sure there's enough room for this to move back and forth, but I am gonna basically tape this in just so it doesn't move around inside of here. And I've got some old ass electrical tape here, which should do the job. And I'm gonna get this taped down kind of across the whole panel here. All right, so I've gone all the way across now with this wire, taped it down, gonna hooked it in through there, and now it's joining the rest of these wires in here. The good thing is there's a lot of extra space here, so, or a lot of extra wire. So basically the rest of it I'm just gonna shove back here into the footwell where there is more room. And get this back into the right place here. Now that whole thing is back tucked under. Our wires are all in place. And all right, I'm gonna put this clip back in first. This guy back in here. So just make sure we get all of our clips. So we got one, two, kind of here on the bottom, and then three, the third one over in here. So what we're gonna do, all right, try to get everything kind of lined up the right way first. Here's my little pry bar here to make sure that we got our trim up on top where it's supposed to be. There it is. All right, and now stripping, and that's all in place. We should be able to get this last clip back in. Okay, easy peasy. All right, now what's the next one? This one? Yeah. And we got like kind of this one. This one looks like it just goes, slide it down. Okay, good. Should I can see that anyway when this is on. Alright, and then this one just kind of get these clips back in. Oh wait, we gotta put the big hot part on first. Alright, let's do that. Alright, now to be honest I don't really remember exactly how this went in, so I gotta kind of like... Alright, now I'm going to put this side one back on. Okay, and now our last panel here. Nice. Alright, done. And let's see here about our display and everything. Make sure we're all set. And like a genius, I just realized that I didn't connect the display to the cable that was in here before putting the panel back on. So back off and we're gonna reconnect. All right, now we finally are set. It's actually plugged in and we've got everything working, so. All right, I am happy with that. We're gonna go give it a little bit of a drive later. Oh, and I can just see some sort of nefarious criminal opened my trunk. Awesome. Alright, so learn from my mistake. Make sure it's actually plugged in before you connect everything back up. But that wasn't too bad to get stuff back off, so now that I know what I'm doing, I'm a little bit less afraid of it. So yeah, really not too bad. Installation I thought was, I mean, it takes some time. That took me like an hour and a half, I think, but a lot of that was... That's because you had the kids. I think about an hour and a half, but most of that, honestly, was figuring out how to get the this top panel off, which, now that I see where the clips and stuff are, it's actually very sturdy, and you really don't need to worry about breaking anything with it, and it kind of just pops off. And then like getting these ones over there and just figuring out where the right wires and stuff were. So I would think if I sort of knew about those two things, I could probably do that in about an hour or so. Not like a super quick thing, but that's really not too bad, all things considering. And I'd say the ease of it was actually not too bad. The main thing is to just not be worried about breaking the car. It's not going to happen as long as you're somewhat gentle and are doing things like in an even, equal way as you're applying pressure to stuff and forcing things apart. But kind of knowing like that things are not really going to snap too bad, even if you push it pretty hard, really helps a lot. But that's pretty awesome. I'm really happy with that. It looks cool. So nice thing is, you know, it stays right there even as I turn the wheel. It's not going to move with it or anything like that. And it is right here, line of sight for me, which is super convenient. So I like that, and we're going to give it a shot on a little bit of a drive later on just to see how it works while we're driving. But so far so good, and big fan of this. So if you're interested, I have the link in the description. Make sure to use my link and code as you'll save a little bit of money. And so some of it will actually go back to this channel and help support me and make more videos like this and cost you nothing extra.
Ooh, fancy.
All right, so we got everything all hooked up and set now.
No.
Well, okay. Well, that's because the car is foolish, but...
Oh, that's nice.
So, getting some impressions here.
That's nice. That's a lot going on, though. And the range just went from 173 to 171 on here, and it's 172 on here. So you take an average?
Yes. I think some of that is probably like as you drive, and that says 55%. This says 54. Interesting. So that is probably because we're using the way that we're hooked into the computer. It might just be like a difference basically in the calibration there versus like how the screen is processing it. Or it might just recalibrate like as we actually drive. Yeah, I forget, how do you do the...
Tires.
Tires, safety? Oh,
yeah, safety.
Okay, so it's shown on here.
Did you put air in the tires?
I did, yeah. And they're a bit too high, but then because there's...
Because it's hot
I
out.
thought it was supposed to get cold. And then
it will, tomorrow night it's going down to 40.
So, more people yell at me about that. Alright, yeah. So
that doesn't change, it just stays, that's the screen that stays on? Like, do you get to customize it at all?
you can change the... Oh, I wonder if it's because now the sun set, so the screen changed to dark, so it's the other theme.
No, but there's why
okay,
there's so
I'll now
much
show
stuff on
PSI.
there.
You can, so if you hold this, then you can change...
Oh, that's
maybe,
nice.
yeah, okay. So we were using that one before.
Well, it shows with the odometer on there. That's nice. I've never seen the odometer on any of these cars.
Oh, we're at almost 5,500 miles. All right. All right, cool. So...
Wow, that's a lot of mileage we've put on the... Where the heck have we been going?
Everywhere in this car.
True.
We haven't used that one at all. Our battery
but
actually was... we got a warning and then an email for our Buick that the 12-volt battery was almost dead and that we needed to drive to charge it yesterday.
You should take Arlo in that car tomorrow so you don't have to deal with these things. Wait, but where... I mean, that's a lot of miles. When did we get this? It's barely had it for 6 months.
We've only had this car for like 4 months. Or 5. We're coming up on 5 now.
I don't think we want to put that many miles on it a year, do we?
No, but whatever.
Well, but like, plus we're like, we have nowhere to drive to.
Yeah.
Is it just from the road trips that we've taken? Where have we gone in this? We've done the shore.
We did Acadia. We've gone to Pennsylvania a few times, into the city.
It's not that many
We're
miles.
driving all around here all the time, doing hockey multiple times a weekend.
I guess.
Soccer.
That just feels like as fast as when we were living in Wanakio and I was driving to work.
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
Whatever.
Nobody cares about that.
That's not the point.
Yeah, how do you like it?
I like that. It's gonna take getting used to because I've gotten so used to looking over here like that other one.
Yeah.
I haven't used at all.
Yeah.
So, but I think the placement of this one's a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know if I'll use it.
Okay.
I don't like. It's just something that I would have to retrain myself on, to be honest.
I'm gonna take it for
like too many things happening in this car.
I know. I'm gonna take it, especially this stuff. But you can find the links to all of these products from the Vixseed phone mount.
That didn't work with my case because I have a plasticky case on my phone.
Yeah, because your phone, I think your phone doesn't have MagSafe, does it? Yeah, your phone's an 11. I don't think it has MagSafe.
Oh, okay. Mine didn't work.
Yeah. Well, there's a little ring you can put in the back of the case.
No, it's good.
Yeah. And we've got our heads-up display. We've got our steering wheel autopilot
I don't even notice that. That's why the car was screaming at me before.
Yeah. Now we've got that. We've got our Tamai cup holder thingies, protectors. Our wood paneling-y things here. The trays in here. We've got our 3D mats. So you can find links to all of that down below, along with codes to save on all of those, which do help support the channel. All right, so that's all the accessories that I've got right now. So we're finally down to having everything actually installed in the car.
Okay,
it is too much.
Clean out that bench, that's the mudroom bench?
Yeah, we can start cleaning stuff out. And I think we do. I agree. We've got too many things in here right now. So we got to figure out what's staying, what's going to go. I'm probably going to keep everything in for the next week while we do. The boys and I are taking a road trip down to Shenandoah National Park for 2 nights of camping. So stick tuned for that. Stay tuned. And probably after that, I'll decide like which things I'm actually using in here and what we're going to keep. And the nice thing is everything is removable, and now that I've installed it myself, I know how to get it out easily. So we'll see how that goes. But with that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do like the video because it helps other people find it. Let me know now if you would consider doing this DIY install or if it scares you. And please do subscribe for other awesome Tesla and other EV content coming soon. All right, with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.